Hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also YouTube. And tonight I'm going to be providing a weekly Australian influencer update of what they've been up to this week, as well as answering all of your anonymous questions. I did put a question box on my stories earlier today and people submit them anonymously. I do not know who submits them, and you can also submit questions on the screen and I will get to them during the live. So the first thing I'm going to talk about this week is, I suppose the biggest story would be that Matt Poole and Annelyse Oatway, they got engaged this week. So Matt Poole is the ex-fiance of Tammy Hembrow, of course. And yeah, he now has a new partner, Annelyse, who is now his fiance. And they have a child together, Parker Poole. He has a previous child. Well, he has an older child, I suppose, Posey Poole. So she is the daughter that he has with Tammy Hembrow. So yeah, the two of them together have two children. Annelyse is a stepmom to Posey Poole. And the engagement ring has what has been the most divisive thing about this engagement announcement. So the engagement ring is, I don't know how to describe it. I would describe it as modern. It is definitely a modern thing. I don't think that this is a shape that I've ever seen before. I will show on the screen now as well as explaining it. So this is the engagement ring. As you can see, it is a thick gold band and it features a sideways pear-shaped diamond. And inside the band, you can't actually see it from the outside, Matt has got Parker and Posey's birthstones inserted into the band of the ring, which is super cute. I love that it's got so much meaning. There was a lot of comments about the ring, and Annelyse did write back to one of them saying that this is a ring. I think that she had some sort of input into the design of it, and it's something that she absolutely loves, which is amazing. It's very interesting. I was away with my sister, as I mentioned earlier at the start of this live. I was away with my sister for the last few days and I showed her the ring and she said she absolutely loves it. She just couldn't think of anything better. She said it was just absolutely incredible, absolutely loved it. Whereas for me, it is definitely not something I would choose, but I can see that it's a very modern style. Like, it reminds me of Ariana Grande, how she had her engagement ring, how it was like the two different shape diamonds, and that was like very modern at that point, and I feel like this is like a new modern trend. It also reminds me of Martha Kalifatidis's ring. She's got the sideways emerald cut, which is like the red rectangle, so rather than having it down her finger, which is the most common way to have an emerald cut ring, she's got it across her finger, and that is what this pear-shaped diamond is doing. A bit of drama with their engagement announcement, I suppose. Drama, I don't know if that's really the right word, but Matt Zukowski was one of the first people to comment on the engagement announcement, and he said, "Congratulations, guys, so happy for you both." To which Matt Poole wrote back, "Thanks, mate," smiley face. It's been interesting to see these two come together like in solidarity since Matt Zukowski did divorce Tammy Hembrow. It does seem quite strange that these two seem to be such mates since he broke up with her. I don't know. We're never going to know, I suppose, the behind the scenes there, but I feel like Matt Zukowski would know the stir that commenting something like that was going to cause, and Matt Poole would know as well when he responded back to it. Yeah, I think that's about it around that one. People do ask me not to talk about Tammy Hembrow every single week, but she is always in the headlines. I'm going to talk about her again. So Emilee Hembrow, Tammy's sister, she released her podcast this week. It is called Let's Be Real. And her first two episodes. Her first two episodes were a two-part interview with her sisters, Tammy and Amy. I suppose the first episode, there was sort of nothing really that we hadn't heard before, but the second episode was a lot of insight into some really vulnerable topics that they have not spoken about before. So Emilee spoke about her hardest moment as a mum, and she said that the hardest moment as a mum for her was the loss of her son Jamal. So Emilee did document this at the time. She lost her son Jamal when she was 29 weeks pregnant. She went on to explain that her kids were her reason for getting through it. She had to and that she had to keep going. Like, she had to keep going for her children. This was such an emotional episode. Like, I was tearing up the whole time. Like, it was just really sad. she was crying herself and her sisters were crying. It was, really sad to hear her talk about this, because she has never really spoken about it online, apart from like documenting what was happening at the time, but not talking about her feelings necessarily. She then went on to say that, Tammy then went on to say that it was the hardest thing for her watching Emilee go through it. She had to go through a full labour and delivery. Her older sister Amy, she had just had her first child, and knowing what she had gone through herself and then seeing Emilee have to go through that with the labour and delivery was really, really heartbreaking. And Amy said that she was actually worried that because she'd had her child so close to when this happened to Emilee, Amy was actually worried that Emilee wouldn't want to see Aurora because it would be too hard for her, but that was not the case, which was lovely. Tammy explained that her hardest moment as a mum has been her recent divorce from Matt Sikowski. What have I written here? She did add that it doesn't seem like anything compared to what Emilee has had to go through as her hardest moment as a mum. But she went on to explain that she was so swept up in the fairy tale and romance that she ignored the problems. She agrees with Emilee that her kids were her reason that she kept on going. She also added that the public announcement was such a weight off her shoulders. So as suspected, I believe that they broke up probably months before the public announcement about their divorce. And Tammy also added that her advice to her younger self is to love yourself first. That is her advice for relationships. Like if she could reflect on all of her, like this divorce, if she could reflect on this now, her advice to her younger self would be to love herself first. That is probably the main things that came out of that podcast this week. I might get to the questions and then I'll go back to a few more updates. Someone's asking me, what are your thoughts on Nikki and Lucy's live show based on what's on social media? It has got me super, super, super pumped for the Melbourne show. So as you might have seen, Lucy and Nikki, they held their first live podcast show, and Lucy opened the show herself with a dance to Britney Spears' Toxic. She was dancing with fake knives. She did have backup dancers. I thought it was just so, so, so iconic. This is an ode to the fact that she recently, once she broke up with her most recent boyfriend, she did a dancing video on her TikTok and she was dancing with knives, and she got a lot of criticism for it. People were saying, I think you're having like a Britney Spears mental breakdown. And then she quickly deleted the video. And now she's sort of, by opening the show with that, she's sort of like making fun of herself, but also it's just so iconic. I just love it. They also had special guests like Kelly Holiday, Bella Clinton, who's Indy Clinton's sister, other people. And I think it looked absolutely amazing, and I haven't heard anything bad about it, unlike their live show that was streamed one time and Lucy was under the influence, I suppose, and very messy. That's what I've been told. This person saying we need to discuss Chloe Morello's new podcast, So Juicy. I totally agree. I've got her most recent episode in my saved list, but I have listened to her interviews with Lauren Curtis. Yeah, Lauren Curtis. And I agree. Chloe is just telling it how it is. She's talking about like numbers of money that she earned for certain collaborations, which I find that influencers never ever talk about specific numbers. They might sort of say, it was a lot of money, or it was 4 figures or 5 figures, but she is just like telling it how it is, and I absolutely love her podcast. Highly recommend that if you've grown up with her or Lauren Curtis. And what else was on there that was really juicy? It's hard to think off the top of my head because I wasn't prepared for that one, but she has done a more recent episode where she talks about viral sort of things, and she's going to talk about John Cookian, which I don't know if anyone would even remember him, but I do find her podcast really great. Oh, hang on. Loved your roasting, by the way. I wonder if something's happened with the Happy Hour Live show that I roasted them. Maybe I roasted them and they've like replayed something. I don't know. I haven't actually heard about this. A lot of people here are saying that they absolutely love Annelyse's ring. That's really good. Mitch Churri has joined. He's saying that he loves these lives. How funny. It's just so funny to me that influencers even watch me talk about influencers. Like, I don't know. I love it though. And I think that it's actually really smart for them because they see, you know, what's getting headlines and what their friends are doing. And yeah, it's good for networking purposes for them. Oh, this person has said that it is a strange response from Tammy to say that the hardest thing about parenting has been her divorce, not with their dads. Oh, yeah, you'd think that splitting from her children's fathers might have been harder than her divorce. True. I wonder if it's just because they knew that was going to get a lot of listens. And I think that also she wants to protect her children a bit. She doesn't want to get online and badmouth her breakups and badmouth the dads, knowing that her children might see that one day, where it's easier for her to criticize her relationship with Matt, knowing that it's not going to affect any future children or children in the future. Yep, that's my thoughts on that one. Oh, Mitch Churri is saying that he stood on a famous influencer's foot at the Wicked for Good premiere. Wow, what a claim to fame. That premiere, both the Melbourne one and the Sydney one, absolutely incredible. So many people at them, and yeah, I loved like the costumes and things. Olivia White, as always, just looked so incredible. She went with Nakia Joy and they dressed as Elphaba and Glinda. And also, All Right Hey, he was invited to the London premiere. And he actually met Ariana Grande. I'm absolutely shook by that. It's so, so cool. What else? Oh, this person's saying that they think Lucy and Nikki should have kept the show under wraps, and it feels like the secrets of the show have been revealed now. That's a good point, especially because the future shows are sold out. So it's not like they need to show footage to promote the future shows. But I'm guessing they're going to have different surprises at all the shows. They can't just repeat the same show every time, because also a lot of people, not a lot, but a few people might go to multiple shows. And also they are quite spaced out. Like there might be 4 weeks in between them or 3 weeks. So yeah, I think there's going to be definitely more surprises to come. And definitely different special guests. Oh, this is an interesting question. It's one of the things I was going to talk about tonight. So someone has said, what do you think of Bella Messina's hot take on 50-50 parenting? So this week on Bella Messina's podcast, she has shared her hot take, which is that she thinks it is beneficial to everybody and the ideal balance to do 50-50 parenting. So in her case, her ex-husband, Adrian Messina, he has 50-50 custody of their children, and they do 1 week on, 1 week off. And she gets 1 week to herself where she can, you know, get stuff done for herself, get stuff done around the house, do whatever she needs to do, have a mental health break, and then she feels like she can then give her best for the week that she does have her children. And yeah, it's been very divisive, of course. She also, I don't know if she said this on the podcast, but she definitely said it in the comments that like if you're in a relationship, it could be that the 50-50 parenting could be that one day the dad is the primary parent and the next day the mum is the primary parent and does all the things for the kids and vice versa. And that could give you the mental health break that you need. But then a lot of people were saying, well, if we did that, we would actually never see each other and that wouldn't be enjoyable. And yeah, there was just a lot of criticism around this. And then of course, somebody, which to me is the most obvious criticism to this plan, somebody said that if they were in a 50-50 parenting relationship, they wouldn't get to see their children for a week when their children are with their dad, and that isn't something that they would want to choose. But yeah, I don't know. I can see all of those are valid points, and great for Bella Messina that works for her. And it's honestly good that she talks about it, even though most people disagree with it. It's good that she's able to share her truth, and I'm sure that resonates with a lot of people. But the reason why this is an interesting topic for tonight is because Adrian Messina has actually come out and spoken about his side of the divorce. So Bella Messina has been very vocal about this divorce and like the way it's affected her, and she's definitely implied that he cheated. I don't know for sure if he did or didn't, but that is sort of the consensus from what people can gather from what she's given. She's also spoken a lot about, like the effect on her physical health, her mental health, just everything. And so now he has come out and said these points. He said that divorce almost bankrupted him, and it's not even finalised yet. He faced a whole year of online propaganda, which I'm guessing means like he's been facing her talking about him in a negative way for a year. I think that's what he means by that. A lot of this is written very cryptically. Next, he says he was forced to redo his city shop to make good, causing weeks of work. So I'm guessing that means he had to shut down one of the shops, and as a condition of the commercial lease, he had to make good the premises so that it can be leased to somebody else. Like, you can't just leave a commercial premises with like all your branding and all your signage and everything, because then how do they go lease it to the next person? You've got to like return it to the condition that it was in. So yeah, he was saying that he was forced to redo it, which caused him weeks of work. He then said solicitor battles for bank guarantees back, which is ongoing. Maybe he guaranteed certain sorts of loans for her or something. I don't know. It's as I said, it's very cryptic. It's hard to interpret. He then said lease termination presented to me for the shop I was going to keep. So maybe she had co-signed the lease and he was presented with a termination because Bella had signed something. He then says business sale almost fell through. Okay, well, that's sort of got nothing to do with Bella that I know of. He then says massive workloads causing stress levels to skyrocket. Welcome to life. Yep, that is true. He wrote fell into a depression, which, yeah, obviously sucks. He then wrote exhaustion from all of the above causing 3 months of straight sickness. This is horrible. I mean, I don't think that it's Bella that's necessarily the problem in this. I think that this is probably quite common of divorce. But yeah, it's really opened my eyes up to how stressful divorce is for many people. Like, this really sounds so stressful. He's then written physical health declined for months, which is sort of the same as the above point, and then hundreds of online arguments from SJWs, which is I did actually Google that. Social justice warriors, which I'm guessing that's something to do with Bella's followers who were like talking about misogyny and that sort of thing. But yeah, that is his side of the divorce. So it's very interesting to see that it has obviously affected Adrien in a major way. I did note though that there's no ownership here for what he might have done wrong in the relationship, but then maybe it's not true. Maybe he didn't cheat on her. I don't know. But yeah, 2 sides to every story, I suppose, isn't there? Or 3 sides, because there's his side, her side, and the truth. Sorry, I'm going to get back to the questions on the screen. Oh, Anna Poole is back to putting expensive gifts in poly orders. Could be illegal, misleading, deceptive. I don't think it would be. Actually, one of their giveaways recently was illegal, misleading, and deceptive. They offered that if you purchase something, you could win a trip to Greece. And it explicitly said open worldwide, because somebody who works in law, they were like sending me screenshots of all this stuff. And then they looked into the terms and conditions, and the legal terms and conditions said that it's actually only open to residents of Australia. They messaged Poole, and then Poole ended up changing everything on the advertising to make it only open to residents of Australia. But prior to that, people had probably ordered from overseas hoping to win it. But anyway, I don't know. I do believe that Anna Poole would genuinely put these gifts in there. But I don't know if she probably needs to be having like a lottery license, because the gifts are worth a certain amount of money. Not sure, but I believe brands do this sort of thing all the time and definitely don't get lottery licenses and all get away with it. It's not exclusive to Anna Poole. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this person is saying that Lucy and Nikki played a video of me at their live show. That is so funny. Didn't know about that, but love it. So fun. They did actually ask me, Lucy asked me on one of my lives if I would go on stage on their live show and roast them. And I thought about it, and I thought, I've actually already paid like $260 a ticket, I think I paid, to be in the front row. It's like the meet and greet ticket that I bought for me and my sister, one each. And I sort of thought, I've paid $260 to be there. If I go on stage, I would probably be feeling like really nervous in the lead up to it. And then I would rather just like be somebody who watches the show and just enjoy my night and not have to like think of roasting them. And I'm not good at roasting people. I like influencers, but yeah, I'd rather them just play a video of me. That sounds fine to me. What else? This is back to Bella Messina. Do you think Bella Messina was crashing out about her ex-husband? Does she have a right to complain that she never gets mentioned by him? What? That's so weird. Why would anyone complain that their ex-husband never mentions them? That is bizarre to me. Someone said she didn't go to her girls' school concert. Well, I mean, that could be because maybe Adrien wanted to go instead. I feel like that is not necessarily a bad thing. Someone here saying that she was at a wedding with her boyfriend instead. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe a wedding is a priority, especially when their dad can go to the concert. This person saying that she's really made this marriage break down her whole personality, which is insane. Is anyone else sick of hearing single mum vibes? But also single mum this, single mum that. Girl, you have them 50-50. I didn't realise that there was a lot of criticism about the way she portrays things. This person saying, Bella also said that she's relying on a payout from her divorce to buy a home, but is preaching financial autonomy. Well, I mean, a divorce payout is 50% her, or probably 50, because it's 50-50 custody, so it is 50% her money. So she's relying on the payout of her own money, I would interpret that as. But yeah, I definitely do laugh a little bit when she is saying how she's a single parent and all that sort of thing, because she does have a boyfriend, but I don't know how all that terminology works. But yeah, she is a single mum in that she has 50-50 custody of her children. She is separated from her husband, but she does have a boyfriend. So yeah, whatever you want to call that. A lot of people always ask me influencer baby name guesses, but I honestly have no idea. I literally have no idea at all. This person saying, have we spoken about Indy Clinton's video about another baby? No, I didn't see this video, but I thought she was saying that she's not having another baby. I feel like that's what I saw recently. Oh, no, this person's saying that she's considering another baby because her son wants a brother. Well, interestingly, you actually can't choose the gender of your baby, so she might end up with 3 girls and a boy if she chooses to do that. Am I watching Big Brother? No, I haven't had time this week because I've been away, but I definitely do want to catch up on it. I think that it is something I would really, really like. I've also been watching Squid Game. I watched the first few episodes and I need to watch the second few episodes. But yeah, my plan is to watch it, but I'm not going to be able to watch it in real time, unfortunately. All right, the next thing, speaking of divorces and breakups and things, interestingly, Bianca Roccisano posted some stories this week. So Bianca is a sister of Bridgett Roccisano. They are Bianca and Bridget, which is the clothing brand. They also own Booby Tape, and they are just these super wealthy sisters that are in the who's who of Melbourne. Like, they're friends with Beck Judd and Nadi Bartel and all that. Anyway, Bianca mentioned this week that she is selling everything out of her house, and it's because she moved in with her sister. I think she said a few months ago. So her sister Bridget had a baby a few months ago, and within 8 weeks after Bridget gave birth, she broke up with her husband. And so Bianca moved in with her sister to help her raise her 8-week-old baby. And yeah, I don't think this was public news until this Q&A, so I was very interested to see that. And then she also was posting, what she's selling and how much it was all selling for. She also has emptied her closet, Bianca, not Bridget. So Bianca has emptied her closet. She's giving a lot to charity, and she's mentioned that she's going to donate mainly to victims of domestic violence looking to be rehoused. This is something that we need to raise more awareness to as a society. And I just thought, I wonder if that is like a subtle undertone there of, we don't know why Bridget and her husband split up. There's been absolutely nothing. I don't even have any clue at all. And Bianca's talking about how she moved in with Bridget after Bridget and her husband split up. And then she goes on to say, oh, here's all the stuff I'm emptying out of my house, including all these clothes, and I'm donating to victims of domestic violence. So I don't know if, there's a link there or not. That's probably just me creating rumours, or Bianca creating rumours. I'm just saying what she posted. But yeah, I did find that very interesting timing to be posting that. The other stories that have been very, very highly commented on this week, the things that I've posted on my subscribers, is Sophie Guidolin. She has been doing a massive Q&A, and every question that she's asked, she provides very bizarre answers. So somebody mentioned to her that, I see you in a bikini and you don't have a C-section scar. How did you get rid of it? And Sophie Guidolin answered the question saying that the reason why you can't see her scar is because her scar is just above, I don't know how to say this in like appropriate language. Okay, so she explained that it was on her pubic region just above where her labia joins. Where her labia joins is her wording. So yeah, obviously if you can picture things, you've got that. And she's saying it's just above that. And a medical professional has responded to her story saying that anatomically, what? I can't say that word tonight. Anatomically, let's just say that is not possible. Her scar could not possibly be that low to cut a baby out of her uterus. But anyway, that was just the first bizarre thing. The second bizarre thing she said, well, actually, this one's not bizarre. This one's actually just kind of cute. They said, if you could go back in time for a day in your life again, when would you choose and why? And she chose that she would go back to when her twins were babies. She would kick her ex in the bum. So her ex is Nathan. He's the mum of her twins. The dad of her twins. I would kick my ex in the bum and send him to work and stay home with the girls and not go down the career path. Biggest lesson I would do differently. I kept others in a job at the detriment of myself. The days are long, but the years are short, I promise. I thought this was really interesting because she normally speaks so high of Nathan. She seems to be still very involved in his life. He's still very involved in the twins' life. And yeah, it was just interesting that she sort of wrote that little dig towards him. But yeah, she says that she would choose motherhood over a career because the day or the years go so quickly. The final interesting Q&A that she posted was, how many calories are you currently eating? You look amazing, strong and fit. To which she responded that she's managed to get her calories up to around 4,500 on average per day. 4,500. Now, she is a very, very fit person. She is training. She was doing like bodybuilding training. Bodybuilding, I don't even know if that's the right word. It's like that fitness competition. I'm not sure. She was doing like hardcore training. So maybe 4,500 calories possibly could be correct, but it does seem very excessive. So somebody had actually sent this to me. They had Googled how many calories did Arnold Schwarzenegger, my pronunciations are very strange tonight. How many calories did Arnold Schwarzenegger eat in a day? And Google has replied saying that with peak bodybuilding, he has probably consumed around 5,000 calories a day to support heavy training and muscle growth. So Sophie Guidolin, who is a very, very petite woman, she is claiming that she is eating 4,500 calories per day compared to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was consuming 5,000. That's why it is so funny. All right, I'm going to get to the questions on the screen again. Really trying to stick to 40 minutes as always. Oh, this person's saying that she's not dissing Nathan. I'm not sure how, because I really interpreted it that she was. Yeah, people are saying that cut, the cesarean section cut, does sound way too low. It does. She also mentioned that she had like some sort of laser done to make the scar disappear. So I'm wondering if it's disappeared now and she, from memory, she thinks it was that low, but actually in reality it wasn't. All right. No one's even commented on that. So it went off in my DMs. Everybody was just, very interested in those few Sophie Guidolin questions. And the final thing I wanted to talk about was this week, there's a wedding planning company called Till Death Events, and they have posted an email that they received from an Australian influencer. It is the subject line, Wedding Collab 9th of May 26. The influencer has emailed them saying, hello, my love. First of all, I'm absolutely obsessed with your work. As soon as I found your Instagram and knew you were the perfect fit for my wedding. A little bit of backstory. My fiance and I met 7 years ago, and at the end of a dream holiday in Europe, he proposed in Italy. They then go on to say that they're planning to have a wedding with 100 people. They've got a very limited budget. They're still planning to have a photographer, videographer, band, amazing styling, and they hope to do that through collaboration. And would this company, Till Death Events, be interested in planning their wedding? I think I have some great ideas. I think we will get the wedding published, which would be a win-win for everyone. Our date is Saturday, 9th of May, 2026 in Byron. Venue to be confirmed. What do you think? Regards, and then it's blanked out. There's been a lot of speculation as to who this might be. Personally, I don't think it is a big influencer. This email sounds very beginner level to me. This person isn't good at selling themselves. I think that a big influencer, the first one that came to mind to me was Riley Hempson, because she is getting married next year. She lives on the Gold Coast, which is of course near Byron Bay, but she's actually getting married in April, not May. And she also did meet her partner 7 years ago from what I could find on Google. But yeah, I do not believe it's her. A lot of people also suggested maybe Lily Brown. She also did get engaged recently in Italy. I don't believe she met Jet Kenny 7 years ago, unless she met him and then didn't talk to him for years and then they got together more recently. But again, I don't think it would be her. This person, as I said, is not good at selling themselves. It's just such a weird pitch. Like, this is not an enticing pitch. Also, these big influencers, they've got managers. If they wanted to collaborate, they'd be getting their manager to write a full proper pitch to this Till Death Events. They wouldn't be just writing a Word email. There's also like no imagery or anything on the email. Another one that's come up a lot is Talia Scaines. Again, she also got married. Oh no, she got engaged in France, and she only has been with her fiance 4 years, but we all know that she met him while she was with Mitch Third. So it is possible they've been together for 7 years. But again, don't think it's her. I really just don't even know who it would be. Somebody that did come up is Jasmine Jolanta, jasmine.jolanta. I think she's got about 40,000 followers. So yeah, she's been posting, she got engaged in Italy on the 28th of May, 24, and she's been posting her wedding prep content, and she is getting married, I believe it's in like May or June next year. And yeah, the location and everything sort of seems to add up, but I don't know. I think that what we're going to have to do is wait until after the 18th of June. Wait until after the 9th of May. That is when the wedding is going to be. And let's all just have a look who gets married around that time, and then maybe we'll work our way backwards to this one. So watch this space on that one. Also, I suppose there's probably going to be rumours that they've made it up just sort of for the clout, kind of like that jewelry sort of situation that happened recently with that brand that said an influencer stole a necklace from them. But yeah, we still never, to this day, nobody knows who the influencer was. And I feel like we could have found it because the jewelry brand was claiming that the influencer was wearing the necklace on all their TikTok videos. So again, maybe it was someone smaller, and I feel like that's the same with this. Oh yeah, I've got to talk about that as well. Oh, Kayla, my sister's saying that she feels like the company wrote the email to themselves to gain exposure from the drama. Interesting. Because even like at the bottom of the email, I'll show you. They've scribbled out the name, and it's obviously a very short name because it's shorter than the word regards. Don't know if that's a clue. Oh yeah, this person is asking like, why would the company share this email? Well, they're sharing it because they were offended. They were saying, no, working for exposure doesn't pay our bills, it doesn't put food on the table, etc., etc. Can't believe an influencer would do this. Oh, this person's saying that this person's probably going to change the date of their wedding. Yeah, that would actually be a smart thing. Yeah, this person's asking how have they got the date locked in but the venue to be announced doesn't add up. True, they've done that in the wrong order. This person has definitely slipped up there. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is Veruca Salt. So the updates with, I haven't even got to those questions. I think I have answered a lot of them. I did pre-read them prior to doing my live. But the next update I want to get to is Veruca Salt. So this week, her and her husband have unfollowed each other. They've been posting things on their stories. So it all started when Digii Premium, her husband, he wrote something like, Veruca has blocked me. I'm so sorry. Can everyone please go on her on her TikTok and tell her to unblock me? And then people were asking her in her comments, why have you blocked him? And she wrote, because he's annoying me for real. And then she also was saying, does anyone know, like this was a few days later, does anyone know where Digii Premium is? Last seen at some bitch's house. And then she told this big story on her live about how he had gone to the airport to pick up his friend Leanne, and turns out that was his first time ever meeting Leanne. They'd only ever spoken online. And then while she was there in LA, she was messaging him saying, come and hang out with me. Let's go do this together. Let's go do that together. And Veruca's like, no. Like, you have a wife now. You're not going to go hang out with some random girl. So yeah, their relationship seems very tumultuous and very toxic, unfortunately. Let's hope that it only gets better from here. Oh, something else I wanted to talk about, I just remembered it was in these questions that were submitted, is Laura Henshaw. Okay, someone's written Laura Henshaw doing the fart/spitting milk on her partner prank. That was gross. I loved it. I just thought it was so funny. I remember probably a week ago, I actually messaged the original TikTok video to a few people I knew because I was actually crying in laughter. I had very, very spewy babies, so I related to this a lot. And yeah, in the original, it was basically what Laura was doing, like a woman cuddling up to her partner and then spitting up milk on him. But Laura Henshaw took it to the next level, and actually she farted on her partner prior to the vomit. And that honestly just adds to the relatability. That is what babies do. They fart on you all the time. They spit milk on you all the time. And yeah, he didn't react well. He was very shocked by the whole situation. But I suppose you expect it from a baby, whereas you don't expect it from a grown woman. So I can see why he reacted the way he did. This person's asking, did you buy anything from Bridgett today? No, I didn't. I'm not a scarcity mindset sort of person. Like, I hate when brands do this whole scarcity marketing tactic where they're like, you've got to log in at this time. We're going to sell out. Make sure you get in early. She even did like some sort of treasure hunt online where you could do all of this work to be one of the first 100 people to spend money. And that to me is bizarre. Like, that does not grip me at all. I am not interested in working to then spend money. Not my thing. I do love her brand, like the way she's done everything and the way she's been so open about everything and talking about everything, but that marketing tactic is just not for me. What I did really like though was that a different brand, I think it was called Stitch Nest. I don't know, I posted about it in subscribers this week. Stitch Nest, they are claiming that they purchased a course from Bridgett earlier this year. Yeah, earlier this year. I think it was in about April. And then they actually have a kid's t-shirt that says butter wouldn't melt. And now Bridgett is releasing a t-shirt that says butter wouldn't melt. And Stitch Nest is saying, well, she obviously knew who we were. We'd purchased a course off her and she's gone and copied our brand. But then she actually responded in the comments and she said, this is just an old saying. It's not your saying. It fits with like the whole vision of our brand. Apparently they've got some other old sayings on their t-shirts, and she provided proof that the design all started in, I think it was May, but then that sort of didn't really provide any proof because this person, Stitch Nest, was saying she bought the course in April. But still, I agree. I don't believe that anybody owns the saying butter wouldn't melt. So yeah, that was a bit of drama around that one for this week. But I actually think that has been good for the marketing of Bridgett, the label. That has really got me interested in it personally. What else? Oh, Hyro. People are asking if people have actually tried Sarah's Day's electrolyte brand. I haven't. I just don't really buy stuff online. That's weird, but I don't. I'd prefer to just go to Chemist Warehouse and buy some sort of electrolyte drink, I suppose. Oh yeah, I've already addressed that. Oh, and I'm trying to pick out the ones that I didn't talk about last week. I spoke about lots last week, like Kate Jones. I believe I spoke about her pregnancy announcement. Yep, I've definitely talked about Ashley Bynes, Nat Siniski, and Shez. I've spoken about that. All right. I think I'm up to date with that. So I'm going to log out, and thank you all so much for joining my live, and thank you for submitting your questions. And if you do have questions that I didn't answer, please send me a DM and we'll talk about it there, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Bye.